Hey everyone. Okay, and let's do a channel update today. I'm gonna start with something that I was right about. Imagine that, right? Yeah, let's start with Lies of P. So apparently I was right about Lies of P. At least it seems that way. So this might be the first time I'm actually gonna react to something as Asmongold did, or talked about. Because I just typically I do have the same, opinion as him a lot of the time. So a lot of time, there's really no need to react to his stuff. But at the same time, this time, I want to react to this because he says exactly what I wanted to say, but better. So, I'm really glad that he said it. I'm really glad that he did this video, and I'm going to put the link in the description. I know sometimes I forget, but I always add it after if I forget. So... I will definitely add the link, but let's react to this. Like I said, I did start actually, maybe I didn't say, I did start watching this a little bit, and was like, yes, thank you, let's react to this. I need to do a channel update anyway, so let's react. It's called Lies of P Nerfed, and yeah, just like in the first 5 minutes, he says everything that I was saying basically about the game and stuff like that. But then at the same time, I want to maybe like watch like the whole thing and react to it a little bit, and then we'll get into the actual updates. Okay, so let's get this on. I'll probably turn that down. Was that overpowering? Hopefully not. Sometimes I realize that I talk a little bit loud. But I do that because I feel like I do that because like I stare at my levels too much, so I need to stop doing that. But anyway, let's get this up. Alright, that's good. You guys can see that, right? That's good. Alright, so Lies of P nerfed, and this is right on his main channel here. Asmongold TV. So let's check this out. I'm doing auto. Alright, here we go. Lies of P nerfed. And remember, we did play this, and this is exactly like, basically when I was playing, I was saying a lot of this type of stuff.
New Lies of P patch. Is the game really too difficult?
Lies of P is officially easier now because you complained enough. So the devs of Lies of P officially put out a new patch today, and they made a whole bunch of changes. Starting with things like simple balancing and some enemies having less health, and an increase...
Okay.
Yeah, they just made a lot of the bosses have less health and do less damage. Straight up.
...at breaking some of the monsters' stance.
Okay, and that part wasn't what I was talking about. Not at all. Let's get to that part.
Increasing the staggerable window time. Even something
I think the staggerable window time is a good idea because it always felt really bad whenever, and like this is the problem, right? Is that Lies of P was designed to be played like Bloodborne, and almost no attacks in the game give you hyper armor. And because no attacks in the game give you hyper armor, using a big weapon is just stupid. Like, it doesn't really like, you can do it, sure, you can.
I even said that, didn't I?
It's just inferior in like every way. So the problem is that if you had a heavy weapon, hitting that stagger with the charged heavy attack was like 5x harder.
And I didn't even have to play it very long to determine that. I think I even said that it was like the mini boss, not even like the first main boss, the mini boss, that first guy. I even said there, like, basically the big sword is just completely fucking useless.
Yeah, because there's no pulleys. Exactly. Lies of P doesn't have iframes either. Yes, it does. It absolutely has iframes.
The dimensional butterflies have less health now.
Yeah.
That's just regular enemies. They even decreased a lot of the bosses as well.
Yeah.
The Fallen Archbishop,
Of Archbishop Andreas, decreased HP of King of Puppets in the first phase, decreased HP of Simon
See, I didn't
Manus,
get that
Armed
that
God,
far.
decreased the damage of Simon Manus, Awakened God, increased the chance to break stance, increased the Spectre's HP and damage. I mean, like, I think the 2-phase fights, like, yeah, probably, because it does kind of suck, like,
Okay.
having to go through a whole first phase just to learn the second phase, and I think it's, like, especially soul-crushing
Okay.
with King of Puppets, because of just, like, how brutal Romeo is. Because, like, Romeo, like, I would say King of Puppets is the first actual big difficulty jump in the game. Like, yeah, the
Wow,
Archbishop
okay.
is kind of hard, but I
It-
think
it
King
gets
of Puppets
even
is,
harder.
like, way, way, way harder.
Yeah.
Puppets, Simon, all have decreased
Yeah.
health. And even your Spectre,
Okay.
your NPC that you can spawn in, has increased health and does more damage.
Yeah.
I'm currently going through my New Game Plus right now, so I haven't had the chance to actually play this since this new patch, but I feel very indifferent about this. Now, I totally feel for people who really want to play this game, and unfortunately, it's just a little too...
I think that the solution to the problems with the game wasn't to nerf the bosses, it was to make the animations more clean and less floaty and drunken fightery. I think that's really what the solution was, and not nerfing the bosses. I don't think the boss's health or damage was really that much out of line. And, like, yeah, it was very challenging and it was hard. But the primary difficulty from Lies of P comes with the fact that monsters who recover from animations don't fully recover from their animations, and oftentimes they just begin their next attack during the recovery
Right.
animation from the last attack.
Right.
Which
Exactly.
makes it very hard to predict and understand what the different bosses are going to do.
Yep.
And also, there's a lot of things in the game that are like feints, where like the monster, I think the first boss is a good example of this, right? The monster holds his hand up like this, right? And it's like he's going to swing you, and then he puts his hand down and he does a sweep. And it's very confusing for the
Okay.
player because I think it's intentionally misleading.
Yeah.
And having a few of those is okay, but whenever the majority of the game is
Okay.
comprised of that, and the difficulty factors in the game
Thank you
are,
for
I think,
pointing that out.
primarily derived from animations or attacks that are designed to roll catch you, and things that are just designed in order to punish certain types of gameplay, it feels like you're playing against like an algorithm rather than playing against a real NPC. And
Yes.
I want to say also, I think Lies of P is probably the best Souls-like game that's ever been made.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and I
like,
thought it was good
I-
too.
I think it's a great game,
Yeah.
but I think the bosses are bad. I think the bosses and the animations of the game are just bad.
Thank you.
Straight up.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, fighting against the devs? Yeah,
Yes, the bosses exactly. Like it's exactly what I said. Basically, all the way up until the boss, the game is really fun. And it's a decent I feel like it's a decent difficulty. I feel like it's not unobtainable to beat the game until the boss and everything he just said.
kind of. Yeah. It's fighting against the devs. And finish it? Yeah, I'll probably try to beat the game today. People call it Pussy Patch. Need to play New Game Plus. Well, I don't really know about, like, because you can parry and dodge everything. Like, another hot take I guess I could have is that I think that the block mechanic is too strong. I do. I think it's too strong. Because you can recover too much of your health just through blocking. I think the block mechanic is too strong. I think the parry mechanic... So, this is why I don't like the parry mechanic. And, like, this is a good way to describe it, right? So, you have, like, the big
Oh,
boss,
here we go.
right? And,
Here we go.
he's got the big sword, and sorry,
What the
okay, and then so this is you, and like
Okay,
you
that's me.
are doing your parry, right?
Okay.
And so parry, and then what happens is your character goes backwards.
Yeah.
So then what happens is you try to move forward and do your next attack with
Right.
your sword,
Right.
and it
To the
misses.
side of. Right. Exactly.
So
Right, because you're to the side. Because you
I
can't
think
just
this
go
is just
straight.
kind of frustrating design. And that's really all it comes down to. It's not, it's frustrating design
Yeah.
that makes, and like, I think this is an example with like Lies of P, is that a lot of things in Lies of P, I think, make the game harder, but they don't make it better. They just kind of add difficulty through creating these like structural frustrations, like
Exactly.
getting knocked away from the boss.
Exactly what I was
having
saying.
to repair your weapon during
Yes.
combat, or having the animations be misleading. And also, I
Exactly.
think there are some examples of the animations just simply being incomplete. Like, if you watch at, like, frame by frame, and I'll give you an example of a mechanic like this. There's actually two mechanics like this. The first example of the mechanic is the grab that the swamp monster does in the second phase whenever he, like, merges with the robot. Whenever he does the grab, the animation for the grab is broken. And you don't actually see the second half of it. And if you look at it frame by frame, you'll see that. And then also, in the last boss, Simon Manus, whenever you fight him and he does the 3 swings kind of like on the ground that are like 360s.
Okay, he does
after
3
that,
swings.
He follows it up with like an overhead slam. And whenever he does that, if
Jeez.
you watch that overhead slam, there are only about 3 frames on the screen. And I have a 144 hertz monitor. Actually 165. There are only about 3 frames on the screen that you have to actually see the animation.
Oh
of the
no.
So it's again like the animations are
That's
like,
so messed
physically
up.
inconsistent,
Yeah.
and
That
they are misleading.
And all right, so that's exactly why I didn't even want to keep playing the game. Like, it's just what, like, him even describing that boss, dude, I would be freaking out. I'd just be like, this game is trash. Fix the broken mechanics. Like, that's exactly what I was saying too. I completely agree. And like the whole time I was playing, like, I just like it. It's like, you know, we came to the same exact freaking conclusion, and you know, he just, I guess, likes to fumble through this stuff more than I do. I flat out just do not have the patience to get through a game like that when it's very obvious the game was designed to frustrate me. So I'm like, I'm just not gonna play that. So yeah, like, I don't know, maybe Asmon, you know, he has a much more comfortable lifestyle, I guess, so he could deal with the frustration better, maybe. I don't know. That would be my take on that. But at the same time, I'm so glad that he's saying all this, because like this is exactly what I was saying. Exactly.
Whereas like in Elden Ring, a monster swings their arm like this, or they are, you know, swinging like this. Now, there are bullshit things that happen in Elden Ring, and I'll call those out too. But I think that in general, the goal should be to have fluid, clean animations that
Elden
are
Ring is
difficult to learn.
so good.
But at the same time, whenever you understand them, they are easy to predict. And I think that one of the problems with Lies of P is that
Exactly.
the animations and the recovery animations are 95% the same thing. I think Simon Manus is another great example of this.
Yeah.
Where like his animation to
I see what
put
he's
his
saying,
hammer
yeah.
on his back and wait to do his next attack combo.
Like, they just
and
don't
his
ever
animation
finish.
To put his hammer like this are almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then the animations
And
don't
I find
complete.
that to be problematic.
Yeah.
And is this an element of difficulty that makes the game harder?
Yes.
It is.
Yes,
However,
absolutely.
I don't think it makes the game more fun, and I think that
No.
it makes learning the game not enjoyable.
Thank you.
And I would say that I didn't really enjoy doing most of the bosses in Lies of P. I think that one of the only good bosses, and I even think that there are a lot of stupid things with this boss, is Leaxia, or whatever the fuck her name is, like the second to last boss.
Yes, exactly.
I think at the end of the day, I just didn't have fun learning the bosses because I felt like I was getting killed by too many cheap tricks.
I saw a
And I
video
think
of that
also
boss.
another big problem of this.
Sorry, Asmon. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I did see a video of that end boss, and it just further confirms it, you know? Because I was watching a little bit of... I went to look up the end boss of the game. That's what I looked up, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm right about this. And then when he... What was this today? Yeah, 15 hours ago? So, like, I didn't even notice this until today. So I'm glad he did this.
I'll do another graph. So you're fighting against, let's say, the Archbishop, okay? So you've got the head, the 2 arms.
All right.
Right? And then here's the body.
I love
and then
this.
here's you.
This is great. There's me. Okay.
About this size, right? The problem is that the camera is this big. So whenever he does his forward attack and then his left attack, he also does a right attack. But you don't get to see that right attack because the camera field of view
Yes.
makes it to where you can't know it.
Yes.
But you can just, after you fuck it up enough times, it's like, oh, okay, I know this is coming. So basically what happens, and this is also the problem with Simon Manus as well, and I'll explain it with him. Let's see. So this is Simon Manus.
That second phase to that first boss, I flat out
Okay.
could not avoid his
And then
attack.
he's got the big arm.
He literally can just hit you from any distance in that area.
And then the hammer. Actually,
Not like
let
the
me
mini
just do
boss.
this.
What was the first boss's name? Think of it, but the guy I literally couldn't even beat. I almost beat him like 5 times. I got his health down to like that much, like 5
Right.
times.
And
Like 4 or
so-
5 times. What
Just a
the
minute.
fuck?
And then here's you.
Okay, there's me.
Okay, and so let's see the camera again. But you have to avoid the hammer.
Yeah. I see what he's saying. It's off the screen.
So this is an example of the camera making the game harder.
Yeah, exactly. Field of view.
Whereas, like, if the camera was zoomed out more, the boss would be easier.
And this is alright, so this one dude came and commented on my Liza P thing saying, oh, you know there's a lock on. If you hit the right trigger or whatever, you can lock on, or I'm sorry, right analog, you can lock on. It's like, do you not see that I used that many times and physically, specifically said, when you lock on, you can't see certain things, so I have to move the camera around? It's exactly what he's saying. I basically just confirming everything that I was saying. I love that he's talking about this, and I love his little diagrams. This is great.
But I also think the boss would be better.
This
Elden Ring has
helps.
that same problem. Elden Ring does have that same problem.
Devs.
But, like, for example, Demon of Hatred in Sekiro doesn't. Because it zooms you out more. And Elden Ring also
Yeah.
does allow you to zoom out against some other bosses.
True.
And also, that's a bad thing in Elden Ring, too. So, I think Lies of P...
Is it?
How can I determine if a boss is going to be good or bad in Lies of P?
Okay.
The smaller the boss is, the better the boss is. The bigger the boss is, the worse the boss is. And why is that? It's because of bad animations and bad field of view. Every Souls game has this problem except for Sekiro. I don't know. I mean, I think that, like, to an extent, you're right. It just kind of depends. Like, again, you'd have to go with, like, specific examples from, like, you know, which boss had this problem specifically in which phase, etc. So, like, because people say, oh, this game had this problem, but, like, which boss was it?
So, like, with Dark Souls, when we played that, my issue actually wasn't with the bosses. My issue was with the actual, like, level design. And the difficulty of the game versus the level design versus the auto-locking targeting mechanism not functioning properly, targeting incorrect enemies. I'd get hit. That was my problem with Dark Souls 3 when we streamed that. I actually think the bosses were pretty well designed, but I didn't really get to play it for very long because I just obviously sat playing. First boss I thought was really cool.
Which boss was it that had that problem? So I think, again, people... I think people, like, create these arguments, but they don't really know what they're talking about. Anyway, all the big bosses, like, name
Yeah.
one. Name one.
Oh,
Jake's very
jeez. Here we go.
controversial, but you might be on something here. It's not controversial, it's just true. Name one. Fire Giant? Okay, so... Rotten Tree thing? No. So here's what the difference is. So the reason why it's okay in Dark Souls 3, and the reason why it's okay with Fire Giant, is because not being able to see the attack most of the time means that you're also out of the animation of the attack hitting you. Do you see kind of what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, like, for example, the fallen, like, the tree spirit will
Yeah.
attack you like this, but if you're underneath his arm, it
Yeah.
doesn't hit you.
So, and also, sorry. Also, he's saying that, like, basically, if you're, like, far enough away, if you're out of the frame, even if you can see and move the camera around, he still can't hit you. That's what he's saying. Like, if you're far enough
But
away.
the difference is in Lies of P, it does hit you. Hard disagree.
He's right.
This isn't... Oh, no. You must be misunderstanding. This isn't an opinion. This is like an objective fact.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
I played the game. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is not an opinion. You don't get to disagree with this. This is just the way that the way it works. And the
I love that.
in Elden Ring.
That's how I feel so much.
So here's a really great example. And I said this. Remember I said this whenever I played Lies of P. I said that Lies of P, the boss design in Lies of P is like if the corrupted tree spirits, if their hitbox was their entire body. Imagine how fucking just
Corrupted tree
absolutely
spirits.
awful that would be.
Hang
and
on.
that's the way it is in Lies of P.
Hang on.
Divine Dragon boss in Sekiro? That's not true. Have you done the boss? So the way it works is that you stand on multiple clouds, and then you jump up as he lays his
Oh,
sword
those
down.
things.
He like swings his sword down, and he does literally one attack. It's a gimmick boss. How are you gonna use?
Oh
it's
my
literally
God.
a gimmick boss.
So, sorry, Asmon, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me show you what he's talking about, if you don't know what he's talking about. So here, this is what he's talking about. Hold on. Where is... Oh, there it is. He's talking about these things. I can't... XSplit's a piece of shit, guys. I can't even, like, click the thing. He's talking about these things. So if their hitbox was their entire body. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to clear that up.
And it's easy. How are you going to use that as an example? And it zooms way out. It's crazy to me that people, and this is it, right? So this is just like some bullshit. You have to fight these guys, and then okay, yeah, here we go.
Sekiro.
So you look at that. You can clearly see the entire weapon.
Yeah.
You can see the entire weapon. You know exactly when it's coming
Yeah,
down. The animation is
it's-
completely clean,
Zooms
very
up.
fluid. You know when the lightning is going to happen as well. Like, what are you talking? Like, what? Like, have you, dude? What are you doing? You need to play these games, man.
See, I liked
Like,
because
you don't
Sekiro.
even know what you're talking about.
I liked it. I just think that when I played it, I had an issue with like some weird port where like it just was causing, because like I kept getting spotted by enemies even though I was like out of the area and wasn't being spotted anymore. They just sort of knew. It was really weird. I didn't really understand how that worked. So maybe if I understood how that worked, that might help. But at the same time, I just feel like it was glitching out and being a really weird port. And there were definitely things about the game that I didn't understand going into it. And as I started to play, I was like, oh, it's that way. Okay, my bad. So Sekiro, I think, is a good game. I just think that I think maybe at this point it's a little dated. Maybe some updating needs to happen. Or a new one. I don't know. I think it was pretty fun, though. I just want to see a better response out of like what I'm doing with the game while I'm playing it. So like while it was good, I just think that, you know, like I said on Steam, it was acting a little weird.
It's
Cookie, what's
crazy
up?
People use these examples. So anyway, Dark Souls 2 Last Giant had hand attacks out of you.
we're I paused it on his look at his face right there. Look, that is the I am so done with your shit. That is the come on look. Yeah, so we're talking about Liza P. You know, basically Asmon is agreeing with me on pretty much everything about the game. And I just think it's funny how he's saying exactly the same things I said about it. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment. Yeah, let's go.
One more example. All right, I think actually.
See, he's
the
like,
reason
he's
why I'm
so
gonna use the
done.
Example is because I think it's a good example to actually prove my point.
People are trying to justify Liza
So
P.
do you see
and
how you're able to walk underneath the monster's legs?
Yeah, exactly.
And the hitbox of the attack doesn't punish the player for not being able to see it because the player isn't anywhere near the attack. And so let's look at another one.
I love the bosses in Dark.
So
The
you see,
Dark
like,
Souls
the foot
bosses
there.
were
Okay,
great.
see, he wasn't in the foot. And also, like, the Liza P has this exact same mechanic for the Puppet of the Future boss. Literally the exact same mechanic. Like, actually, this is basically Puppet of the Future, now that I think about it. So, and that's my point, right? Is that while Dark Souls has monsters that you can't see their entire attack, see? Whenever he can actually see the attack, he is far enough away from the boss to see the attack.
Exactly.
I don't know how that didn't hit him.
So basically, the main points were at the beginning, were like the very first 5 minutes of the video, basically where he was saying that there is like relatively zero time to react between sometimes when the boss throws his animation, and sometimes the animations like kind of get messed up where they look exactly like other animations, and so they mesh together incorrectly, so you think he's going to do this but he does this instead. And then at the same time, I love his diagrams. He drew that diagram thing, you know, where he takes paint out and he just starts drawing. He did another diagram where he like drew about how like the field of view box was just not big enough to see the entire swing of the bosses. It's like exactly. And he even said that the big sword is completely useless, basically. Like, when you're playing the game, you may as well just not even try. And so, you know, he's just confirming a lot of the stuff that I was saying about the game.
Obviously, he could have dodged out of it. Do you deal with Dark Souls because iframes and dodging and the bosses were designed like this? No, it's not. It has to do with the hitboxes of the attacks and the way that the attacks sweep the screen. Like, for example, there. You are able to see... So, in Lies of P, you would be this close... You would be up here on the boss, and you would have to avoid this attack.
Right.
And if you didn't, it would hit you.
Exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you can see the whole boss. And you have room.
It doesn't hit you if you're right here. It only hits you because you're standing far enough back in order for you to see it.
Yes,
what
exactly.
You're saying is if they can see it, they can dodge it. Yes, in most cases, most of the attacks that you can't see because of your camera view in Dark Souls or Elden Ring are not attacks that you have to worry about, whereas in Lies of P, they are all attacks that you have to worry about.
See, this is what he's talking about here.
Camera problems that Elden Ring has less severe. Maybe the dude in the video counters it. I don't know. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hard for them. I feel that. I really do. But on the same coin, this is a Souls-like. It is meant to be difficult, and
That's such a stupid thing to say. Dark Souls 1 is a joke. Elden Ring is a joke. Dark Souls 3 is a joke. Every one of these bosses can be literally one-shot with buffs. You can see 15 different videos that's like the fucking Overlord versus Shaltir, fucking precasting 17 different spells, going in, one-shotting Melania. Like this at level 1. Like, look, again, like we're going to go ahead, we're going to counter this point of view. Rune level 1, one shots. Melania. Okay. See if I can find it.
Yeah, he's shutting up the trolls
Just a
that
one-shot.
basically think that.
Actually, you know what? There might not be a one-shot. I thought there was. I think I might be wrong about this.
So wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold on. You said you did a crazy reaction internet beef yesterday? To a crazy internet beef. Oh, okay. I hope it doesn't affect your channel. I don't think it'll affect your channel. Just your opinion on it, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am wrong about this. Well, let's look at a higher level. There is? I thought there was. Like, I thought I saw one. Rune level 1.
I don't know what he's talking about.
One shot. Oh, I get it. Yeah, second one. I mean, yeah, there is this. Like, I've seen this, right? So here we go. Okay. So this is just the traditional... Can't type because it's going too fast to get this invalid point across. Okay.
What is this?
All right. I'm going to explain the two ways that you're wrong. Number one, you're wrong because the search terms in Google do not necessarily have to take syntax into account.
Uh-huh.
So as long as it contains those different terms, they don't necessarily have to be in order, which is why I didn't bother to reorder them. I know this because I've been using Google. Apparently had its 25th year anniversary. I remember it on its first year anniversary. I was there 3,000 years ago. Number two.
Yeah.
Why is my point invalid? Go ahead. Explain yourself. I hate how he belittles people. Well, time to belittle me. Explain to me how I'm wrong.
Yeah.
This is your chance. This is your chance for justice. This is your chance to set things right. Stop arguing with him. I don't know who this guy is. You're supposed to be arguing with me.
He doesn't care about how he belittles people, but this guy's trying to belittle Asmon by doing this. Like he's literally just basically doing the same thing. Like,
just stop fucking adding that guy. Don't care. Explain my invalid point. Not talking to me, right? I don't care.
This is a troll. Trolls say shit like that.
So you concede that I'm right.
Yeah.
My point is completely valid.
Yes, exactly.
And
he's
that
a troll.
Totally right. I understand this 1,000 times
he gets
better
it.
than you do.
He gets it.
And you're sitting in chat talking shit. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you don't care anymore, which makes you feel better about the fact that you were wrong, and you can't defend yourself. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Don't care about what my God. Oh God. No, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. No. We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
This reminds me of do you know about the situation with a certain person that is mutually subscribed? I'm not gonna mention any names, but I'm sure you're aware. Did you catch the stream last night when I talked a little bit about it? Probably not. Probably not. I think you were live. So, basically, it kind of reminds me of that, about what I deal with regularly. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit, because this is part of the channel update. So I don't want to, like, reveal who it is, because I don't want to, like, embarrass them or anything like that. And I'm not about that. But, yeah, there was some pretty heavy trolling going on with somebody that, was a supporter of mutual supporter of our channels. I'm sure you're aware of it. It reminds me of that.
Can't type because so you said his invalid point. What is the point that I have that is invalid? No, 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 no. Oh, no, no. You're not getting out of this. You said you hate how I belittle people, so I'm sure you're enjoying this. Go ahead.
Oh, here we go.
What was my invalid point?
Yeah.
No one's
Okay.
getting to the bottom of anything?
What happened? Okay. All right. So basically, let me read this. So I don't mess it up. This was on that second Starfield stream. The one that conveniently got taken down. And the one that also had a crap load of trolls on it. Yeah, he trolled too. Now, I'm not going to say who it is, like I said, but he's got 2 accounts. And he was a regular supporter until he wasn't. And right after this, he was in your stream, like, being, like, really positive with, like, your chat. And that's fine. Like, that doesn't bother me. But, like, you can see what I'm saying. Like, that's a troll. Like, to cause a problem, then go in someone else's chat and be like, oh, your stream is real chill. Your chat's real chill. So he's trying to trigger a response out of me. But he didn't get one. He wanted me to, like, cause some problem on your channel, I'm sure, or something like that. But obviously, I'm more mature than that. You're more mature than that. So yeah, let me tell you really quick what happened. Okay, because I'm sure that, like, he's talked about it and, like, told other people about it. But, like, you know, the stream came down, so you can't see it now. So, all right, let's see here. This is what happened. This is what happened. Okay, so this was my pinned message. When he came in chat, this was the second Starfield Day stream. When he came in chat, the pinned message was, I love this game. So you can tell my mood was pretty good, right? If I love this game and I'm just chilling out. And so I think what he said first was, hi, like, how you doing? Or something like that. I said, because, like, I screenshotted, so, like, the first message I see from myself is, I'm great, this game is amazing, LOL. And then he said, he responded in chat, why you not voice talking? And then I said, because tired, why the million questions? And he said, wow, just asking, bro, chill. So, like, he can ask questions, but I can't? But anyway, I was like, me too, I'm just asking. And then, like, in the game, I must have died and, like, I laughed or something like that. So, like, I think that's what I, like, when I typed LOL earlier, I typed, like, the big LOL. So, like, that was when I died. So, like, you knew I was, like, in a good mood. I laughed at myself for dying. So, like, I said in the chat, I literally just laughed at myself for dying. Why would I need to chill? I'm already there. So, like, I was trying to figure out what he was even getting at, you know? Okay, no problem. What I meant is maybe relax, chill, if you're tired, you know? And then I was like, I'll keep streaming the game if that's cool. And he was like, something wrong, LOL. And then I was like, please tell me, since something is apparently wrong, I was just chatting with you, and you asked several questions about the mic and several other things. And then he's like, you acting different regarding how you're interacting with me. And I'm like, no, I'm answering your questions. So, like, he's just, like, continuing this. You know what I mean? Like, he's just continuing this. Let's see. What does it say next? I had to move to the next shot. Here we go. I answered your questions. Why? Okay. You acting different. So he said you're acting different regarding how you're interacting with me, and I said I answered your questions. Why? Because I'm not using a mic. And he was like, "What? Look, bro. I just came in to watch the stream. Looks like you had a few issues with trolls. Have a nice day." You know, I was like, okay. I said, I told you why I was using it, so, I was like, it's not my problem if you think I'm acting different or anything like that. You know, then just ask me about the trolls. And that's what I said, LOL. And he was like, no problem. He was like, no problem. Like, it really wasn't that big a deal. Well, right, that's my point. That was my point. Like, he's bringing it up. So that, like, he was just trying to start shit. So then the very next thing I said was, after he said no problem, I was like gonna just ignore it and talk about something else. So I was like, Michael Does Life was right about something though, dude. ... And then he said, I don't watch his channel. Immediately he said, I don't watch his channel. That was what he said. So like I was trying to anyway, I said Starfield is life. That was what I was trying to say he was right about. LOL. And then he was like and then I said I don't either, because I don't watch his channel either. And he said okay. And then I was like, but he was right about that. And he said his channel is fake. And I said, yeah, pretty much. And then he said, anyway, have a great time with the game. And I said, thanks. And then this dude literally starts going on a comment tirade. Just left and right commenting all, look, bro, I just came in your chat today to talk, and you're acting all different. After all this, after we patched it up and everything was good, after that, he leaves, starts commenting, just spamming comments left and right as I'm streaming. And so I literally just delete all his comments, and then that was when I popped in your stream, and he was there, literally in your chat, talking about how chill your stream was, and you're like the chillest streamer on the planet, and blah blah blah, your content's so good. Like, what the fuck? So like that's from what this is reminding me of is this guy. Yeah. So this guy should be thanking me for not just saying who it is. I should just put him on full fucking blast. Because it was him. I mean, literally, he was drawing attention to the trolls. He was causing a problem. He is the troll. And he's talked about this with other people. So other people are coming in and trying to cause the issue the same way. And I noticed the patterns. And I'm just starting to put people in timeouts or whatever. And that's why people are acting a certain way. Because they're like, oh, I see how you block people or blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm actually not blocking them. Sometimes I'm just putting them in timeouts. But yeah, like, that's what it is. It's like, it's obvious that there's some trolls going back. So if you hear me talking about trolls, you know, going back and forth between channels, that's what it is. And this is somebody that acts like they're a very strong supporter. I think they're actually one of your members. I'm not sure. He obviously unsubbed. Yeah, I think he did. At the time, he hadn't. At the time, he hadn't. I think probably by now he did. Yeah. But yeah, like, that's just it. They're trolls. They're just trying to start shit. But anyway.
It seems that way. You're doing your best to make sure that's not the case. And I know why. And you know why, too. You do know why. That's why you're upset. Actually not enjoying anything. No. You're being a complete asshole, Lamau.
It wasn't Sony.
How am I being an asshole? How am I being an asshole?
Used to be. Yeah, he used to be a regular in my chat, too.
Do I really need to explain? Yes.
All up until recently.
Yes, go ahead. We're waiting. Yes, you do. Go ahead and explain. I sure hope he's gonna have a good point. I'm away, mate. Honestly, thought you was a better man than this. You're actually pathetic doing this to viewers and content creators. Really? Because this is my favorite part of my stream. I love doing this. And you know what my favorite thing about it is? Is that I'm gonna keep doing it.
I know. It's so funny that the
It's
trolls.
And
Yeah, it
you
is.
know what the funniest thing about it is?
Oh my god, it is funny.
The fact that despite all of the time that I've given you to
Maybe
explain
not.
yourself,
Maybe it's not a
and
mem-
you've
it
been
might not
typing
be.
all this other stuff, you haven't
I just
once
thought it was.
been able to actually explain what you were trying to say in the first place, because you don't really even know what it is. Calls out the stream when put on the spot, doesn't explain himself. Yeah, I gave him a time to explain this, and he unfollowed the stream. I don't blame him, man. He needs to follow an English stream.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Anyway, maybe he'll learn something. So obviously, as with anything, this is just the way things go. He's going through all the buffs. And so this is Elden Ring. This is the hardest boss in Elden Ring.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Is like you can't pay any mind to
This
it,
makes
and
you do
then
20%
I
more
try not
damage.
to. But when they're bouncing back and forth and doing
This
stuff
is
like that,
Magica. It makes you do more magic damage.
but I think it's I think it's funny, like he said. So wait, what is he doing here? Is he trying to prove something here too?
This makes you do 20% more damage.
Like, what is this? What are we looking at?
This is Terra Magica. It makes you do more magic damage.
Okay.
He's putting on different items right there. Seppuku gives him blood loss. He has an item.
Oh, right.
There,
All right.
causing
So
him to increase
he's talking about people that can one-shot bosses in Elden Ring, you know, just by using buffs and shit.
damage whenever he has blood loss in vicinity. And he's probably going to use Carrion Slicer, and of course the sword that he's using boosts Carrion sorceries. This is it's in Japanese, but I know what's going on, right?
What boss is Cookie?
And there it is, 21,000 damage.
Oh yeah,
And
you can
he
one.
says,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
there's
Elden Ring.
more.
Yeah.
And she's dead. And so that's the hardest boss in the game. It's Korean? Oh, is it? Yeah, for sure. But yeah, anyway, the point is that Elden Ring has a lot of ways.
It's Chinese. I don't
and
think
Dark
it's Korean.
Souls has a lot of ways to beat every... Like, I thought Korean had, like, circles and shit in it.
It's not Korean. It's Chinese.
That's Chinese? Because, like, Japanese is, like, all pointy and shit. And the Koreans got the circles and shit.
All
and
pointy
the
and
Chinese,
shit.
I have no fucking idea. I don't...
So Chinese is more condensed with more lines. Japanese flows more and has more like upward. Yeah, he's right.
I don't think Soulsborne games are designed to be like massive fucking like super omega.
Yeah, that was
punishing.
crazy. That was.
And I think the truth is that in a lot of the Soulsborne games, besides probably Sekiro, there are a lot of easy modes in the game.
Really do. But on the same coin, this is a Souls-like. It is meant to be difficult, and I've seen a lot of unnecessary hate due to this game's difficulty.
Yes.
Mainly from Bloodborne purists and from software.
Again, all of the problems, I actually think that the difficulty of the bosses is totally fine. It's how the difficulty is arrived at that's the problem to me.
Exactly.
Fanboys that just, oh, this is broken, it's clunky.
It is broken. Like, there are animations and hitboxes that are just broken. Like, it's just true. Like, I don't know why people like this. Like, here's the problem, right? Is whenever you make excuses for bad game design, you get bad game design.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Can people overcome bad game design? Absolutely. But overcoming bad game design does not make it good.
Absolutely wrong.
Should I
watched
just
an excellent video.
Should I just say who it was? I'm just gonna say who it was. I'm gonna hide chat for a second. Hold on. Do you see it? I'm gonna get rid of it now. I just wanted you to know. Yeah, like I have no interest in calling him out. I just wanted you to know. Yeah.
On this the other day, talking about how I think a lot of people are struggling in this game because they want to play this like Elden Ring or Bloodborne.
I think you're the only one in
should
here
not
right
do
now,
either
so
of
that's
those.
why I was
You
like,
need to play this like Lies of P. This game urges you to mix and match different playstyles. You cannot dodge and roll out of every situation. Some will have
It's
to be
cool, man.
blocked, parry. Throwables actually do things here, so you should definitely use them.
That's a good point there. He's right about that. Throwables are extremely strong in Lies of P in a way that they're not
True.
strong in many of the other games.
True.
Definitely true.
yeah.
But I think that this is kind of a weird argument that you have to play the game like Lies of P and not like Elden Ring and Bloodborne, whenever Lies of P is derived from Elden Ring and Bloodborne and it has the same mechanics as Elden Ring and Bloodborne. So like, what are we really talking about here?
And do you want to hear something funny? I know I talked about this yesterday, but I think you missed it, so I'll talk about it again. Dude, on my video for Lies of P, this freaking guy, all right, so where is it? Yeah, look. This freaking guy, he comments, he's like, "Yo, bro." Hold on, let me put this up. He's like, "Yo, bro, if you press right stick, you lock onto the enemy. Try it." What do you think? What do you think that is? Do you think that's me locking onto the enemy? What do you think? Do you think that little X means that I'm locking onto the enemy? Do you think that's what that means? Because I think that's what that means. Yeah. So this guy, he got maybe like 20 minutes in, I don't know, and decided that I wasn't locking onto the enemy. Yeah. So like they're on my channel too. It's just hilarious. I think that's so funny. And like he literally just couldn't get far enough into the video to be bothered to find out if I locked onto the enemy or not.
It's its own game though. It is
so
its own
stupid.
Game, but like, what is
Like
he
that's stupid.
mean by that? Like, it's something that sounds good, but whenever like, and also like you have to keep in mind.
That's like the people that tell me that they know all about politics and they heard about this one thing, but they only heard about it. The reason I know that they heard about it is because of a misleading headline that they're telling me about, because I also read the same misleading headline. And the only reason I know that they're wrong about the thing they're telling me about is because I actually read the article and know they didn't, because the headline was entirely clickbait. And if you read the article, the entire article just completely disproves what the clickbait article said, like the clickbait title said. So it's exactly like that. It's like the people that come to me with like, "Oh yeah, I know this such and such about this person." No, you don't, because that's what a clickbait fucking title said to you. You didn't even read the article to tell. You're just believing what this clickbait title. Like, get the fuck out of here. There's so many people like that are just so stupid. They choose it. That's my point. Like, I feel like I'm not being mean. I just feel like they're choosing to be stupid by not reading, not watching the video, not learning, and they're just jumping to conclusions and just deciding how they feel about something.
The criticism that he's responding to is that there are animations that are bad. And that's just true.
That's true
you
too.
You can look frame by frame and you'll see that the animations are bad. I gave 2 examples of it.
Yeah, it's everyone, dude. Well, I should say everyone. It's a lot.
I don't know what to say.
A lot of these enemies have weaknesses. For example, the puppets have...
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off. I keep cutting him off.
Good, But whenever, like, and also, like, you have to keep in mind the criticism that that he's responding to is that there are animations that are bad. And that's just true. You can look frame by frame and you'll see that the animations are bad. I gave 2 examples of it. Just do it yourself. Like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
A lot of these enemies have weaknesses. For example, the pup.
It's like what you said, Cookie, even when you were playing, some of the interactions and animations of the actual boss itself, like, it's almost like it interrupts the action previously. I think you were kind of saying something kind of like that when you were playing that game too. And, you know, like, that's what he's saying. So he's, like, literally just agreeing with me, with you, with a lot of us are saying that actually played the game.
Puppets have a heavy weakness with electricity. As harsh as it sounds, I really do.
It's just like, yeah.
Dark Souls has the same thing. That's from Dark Souls. Like, again, it's the same thing. Like,
Let's see it.
This isn't some kind of like new idea.
It's very fair. Almost every time that I died, it was because of my own doing. Like I said, this game has gotten a weird critical reception, even from fans of like From Software. Again, because it's like, oh, it's not the same.
It was still my
It
fault
is
when I died.
ridiculously similar. And in your very own words,
Yeah.
get good.
Right.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
that again, stuff like this sounds good to say, but I think it invalidates genuine criticism
Yeah.
that helps games improve and get better.
Thank you.
And,
And that's always
I
been
think
my
that
message too.
A lot of the people that say stuff like this, I think that they don't really even understand what they're saying. Because if you actually looked at the animations and you actually looked at the way the game played, I think that you would arrive at the conclusion that it is a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
But there are shortcomings with the design of certain attacks and animations and hitboxes.
Which we did arrive at that conclusion.
This is just an objective fact.
I even said hitbox.
I don't know why people are trying to like get around this or hide from this. Graphically speaking, it's pretty good. Graphically speaking, it's amazing. I think it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. To each their own.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's saying it's flawless. He's saying that people are nitpicking. Well, of course people are going to talk about the negatives in the game. Yeah, I mean, especially whenever the negatives punish you. Like, it's one thing for the negatives to just be, like, kind of annoying, right? It's like, you know, mob variety. Like, I think there's a lot of things that Lies of P does, like, insanely well. Like, for example, like, mob variety is better than in a lot of AAA games. Like, it's actually so good, it's insane.
In Lies of P, I agree. Yeah.
As a TikToker,
The
not a person, let
the
alone a
mobs are
gamer.
cool.
I'm sure he's played the game. I just think that, you know, whenever you actually evaluate the different bosses' attacks, you'll see that I think my point is pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty
No,
solid.
he's right. I thought it was
I
a
feel like
great
defending bad
game.
game
Just
design is lose-lose situation for everyone involved. Yeah, I think it is too.
we're gonna summarize what he said in the beginning.
Agree. Animations, those big
Video's
robots
almost over.
are bad, mostly on all big enemies. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, anyway, that's generally what I think. I'll read a few of the comments. Obviously, I'd want to talk about this anyway. Souls like supposed to be hard. Then why is From Software the GOAT? They don't listen to this kind of criticism. They just stick with their formula. I mean, again, like, yeah, it's just people are just shit at games. It's not people.
But
are shit
it's
at
not
games.
even
I
that,
think,
dude.
Yeah,
Let's-
Lies of P is a very hard game, but again, I think
All right, we're at
some things
31:30.
that are
Let's go back. Seriously, this is everything that I was saying when I played it. The beginning is everything I was saying. He is so spot on, and it's flat out
Lies
like
of P patch is the
it's
game
not
really too
you.
difficult.
It's not just the parry. It's problems
Lies of P
with the
is officially
game.
easier now because you complained enough. So the devs of Lies of P
Now hold on. Let's
Just
get.
to learn the sec P comes with the fact that monsters who recover from animations don't fully recover from their animations, and oftentimes they just begin their next attack during the recovery animation from the last attack.
That's it, right there. That's it. That is like that's like so many things because the game is good until the boss. The game is good until it's not, and the bosses are cool, but then that.
Which
And
makes
then
it
the
very
the
hard
field of
to
view.
predict and understand what the different bosses are going to do. And also, there's a lot of things in the game that are like feints, where like the monster, I think the first boss is a good example of this, right? The monster holds his hand up like this, right? And it's like he's gonna swing you, and then he puts his hand down and he does a sweep. And it's very confusing for the player because I think it's intentionally misleading. And having a few of those is okay, but whenever the majority of the game is comprised of that, and the difficulty factors in the game are, I think, primarily derived from animations or attacks that are designed to roll catch you, and things that are just designed in order to punish certain types of gameplay, it feels like you're playing against like an algorithm rather than playing against a real NPC. And I want to say also, I think Lies of P is probably the best Souls-like game that's ever been made. So, like, I think it's a great game, but I think the bosses are bad. I think the bosses and the animations of the game are just bad. Straight up.
There it is. Everything basically, you know, that I was saying when I played it, and then, it's the animation. With that whole parry thing, it comes down to that exact animation thing he was talking about, where basically the boss looks like he's gonna do something, so you go to parry or block it or jump out of the way, but really he's not doing that, he's doing something else.
You mean fighting against the devs? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. He's fighting against the devs. And finish it? Yeah, I'll probably try to beat the game today. People call it Pussy Patch, need to play New Game Plus. Well, I don't really know about, like, because you can parry and dodge everything. Like, another hot take I guess I could have is that I think that the block mechanic is too strong. I do. I think it's too strong because you can recover too much of your health just through blocking. I think the block mechanic is too strong. I think the parry mechanic... So this is why I don't like the parry mechanic. And, like, this is a good way to describe it, right? So you have, like, the big boss, right? And, oops. He's got the big sword, and... Sorry. Okay, and then so this is you. And, like, you are doing your parry, right? And so parry, and then what happens is your character goes backwards. So then what happens is you try to move forward and do your next attack with your sword, and it misses. So...
Because you're either too far back, or you have to go around, and he's moving.
I think this is just kind of frustrating design. And that's really all it comes down to. It's not... it's frustrating design that makes... And, like, I think this is an example with, like, Lies of P, is that a lot of things in Lies of P, I think, make the game harder, but they don't make it better. They just kind of add difficulty through creating these, like, structural frustrations, like getting knocked away from the boss, or having to repair your weapon during combat, or having the animations be misleading. And also, I think there are some examples of the animations just simply being incomplete. Like, if you watch at, like, frame by frame, and I'll give you an example of a mechanic like this. There's actually two mechanics like this. The first example of the mechanic is the grab that the swamp monster does in the second phase whenever he, like, merges with the robot. Whenever
and I don't know anything about that, but the whole point is that it's everything we've been saying. Now let's go back to where we were and watch the full thing.
Games, like, I think, yeah, Lies of P is a very hard game, but again, I think the difficulty comes from things that are kind of stupid. Probably put them on stream. I also point out the issue was the game's combat. That's it, waiting for mobile. Basically, doesn't like the bosses with delay the actual strike. Sit there and wait for you to fuck up. Mention this is one of his bosses, Dragon's Dogma 2, where he praises the game for having many bosses with clearly choreographed and understandable attacks. Yeah, I don't like delay attacks.
Yeah. I don't like that either.
I think that they're cheap, and I think they're artificial difficulty.
Yep. Thank you for saying that.
But
Thank
I'm
you.
not, like, again...
I appreciate that he said that.
Delay attacks had nothing to do with anything that I said in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't mention delay attacks at all.
Yep.
Because I understand that delay attacks, while I don't like them, it's not that they're not fundamentally broken. Like, I'm talking about things that are broken.
Yeah. They're just
big difference.
It's just a
Very big
mechanic.
difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, the point do a showcase of delay attacks. I don't have time to do everything, but like all I'm saying is that I think that the devs probably, like, it's probably easier to just nerf the health of the bosses than actually make the mechanics.
Thank you.
cleaner, just because from a technical perspective.
Thank you.
But I do hope that over time and like with the next game they make, they'll be able to like clean that up and make it better.
Exactly, and that's the point, is like I might actually consider going back to it now, because I almost beat that guy. I got him down to like this much health, like, I don't know, must have been like 4 or 5 times. So it's like, had he had less health, I probably would have just beat him. I'm going to put that link in the description for you guys. It was a good video. I'm really, 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 really glad he did that. It's in there. It's in the description. Yeah, like, I really liked the game, and I was really upset that I didn't try, you know, the first time I did it. There were certain things I didn't do. I actually wasn't doing the lock on as much, and certain other things. So that's why the second time I did, that's the video that he commented on where I supposedly didn't lock on. Well, I did. I did during like a good bit of that video and try a whole bunch of things. So that was when I determined that I liked the game, but there was just, exactly like Asmon said, fundamentally some things that were broken about the mechanics of the boss fights. And not even just the normal game. And Asmon talked about the big sword in the beginning being basically useless. And I even said that basically you just shouldn't even use the big sword because you're just gonna die, because you don't have time to swing it against a boss. Yeah, he is the GOAT, and that's the point, is like, that's why I always say, just if you ever have question about something, you can go to him and trust that opinion. And that's where it's like, I'm glad he did that, because, you know, and so now he's actually going to be playing a game that I've been talking about too. That was what I wanted to get to next, was with the channel update. How I said to you guys that, you know, I definitely want to be playing that game when it comes out, the Souls-like game that I told you guys about. That's coming only on Steam. And I think Asmon is now aware of it. So I think he's going to be playing it too. But this game looks so fucking good. This game looks so fucking good. And I know I've mentioned this before, guys. But there it is. Okay? And I know I mentioned this before, but, like, you know, I'm looking forward to this. So, absolutely. And this is only on Steam. It's looking pretty good. It's a Souls-like game. I think he finally found out about it. I think he's going to play it too. So look forward to me finally playing a game that's similar to these Souls-like games, but probably more my speed.
Lords of the Fallen. In today's extended gameplay walkthrough, we're sharing an exclusive look at just some of the diverse and harrowing areas you'll journey through in your epic quest to overthrow Adir, the demon god.
This looks so good, doesn't it?
This is Skyrest Bridge. It is guarded by Pieta, she of the Blessed Renewal, one of the game's early boss encounters. We must triumph against her in order to proceed with our holy charge to restore radiance to the 6 beacons of the Sentinels and thwart Adir's uprising.
So it looks so much like Dark Souls meets Bloodborne. It's not even funny.
Oh, holy Aureus, by your radiance, grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days,
You never tried
to
what?
lay bare the path to salvation.
Dark Souls?
And yet you now appear before me, a stranger, a betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook.
Melee, magic, and ranged abilities are seamlessly interwoven.
This looks
Alongside
so
standard attacks,
good.
you can choose between catalysts, bows, crossbows, or throwables, mapping up to 4 additional magic or range skills to
Oh
your
my
controller
God.
for immediate access. This
Look at how
rapidly
good
speeds
the
up combat
animations are.
and reduces the need to swap between options. As with many of the imposing
This
bosses
is
you'll
the game.
encounter, Pieta has 2 very distinct stages. Death is not necessarily the end in the Lords of the Fallen.
This
When
is
slain
so
in
cool.
Axiom, the realm of the living, you'll resurrect.
I didn't see
in
this
Umbra,
trailer
the
before.
realm of the dead. We now have one final chance to survive.
This is actual gameplay. This is really cool. I saw just like the announcement trailer. They must have added this recently. Wow, this is so good. To think that they're this confident to show you this much gameplay too. I love that this is only on Steam. So it means that we're gonna get like really nice graphics and everything. This is that game I was saying that I'm looking forward to that's like Souls. It's called Lords of the Fallen. It's only on Steam. It'll be out in 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks.
Though few and far between, these flowers denote special patches of ground upon which we can spawn a resting point, known as a vestige seedling. These come at a significant resource cost, however, and we can only spawn one at a time. The realms of Axiom and Umbral exist in parallel. Each world features its own unique pathways, enemies, characters,
Unique
and,
pathways.
of course, treasures. We can now use this crafted vestige
I'm excited.
to return to Axiom.
This looks so good, and the layout, the way it's done, is a lot like Dark Souls, where you go back to your hub and stuff. So cool. That was a lot like Elden Ring, the way they did that finisher. That's cool. One sec.
We can peer into the secondary realm at any time by
I'm sorry, guys. I had to take care of something quick. My bad. This looks so good, though, doesn't it?
raising the umbral lamp. Though be advised, this also renders you vulnerable to its inhabitants.
Oh, wow.
We will now use the lamp to cross over to Umbral, though doing so will consume one of our 2 lives. and it isn't so easy to return to the world of the living.
Really? What the fuck?
Many enemies require a different approach to combat.
Ooh.
This mendacious visage, for example, is only vulnerable when attacked from the back, or when it reveals its true form.
This is so cool.
You'll also come across permanent vestiges on your travels. As well as using these to return to Axiom, you can also level up your stats at these locations.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot like Bloodborne
3 schools
and
of sorcery
Elden
can
Ring.
be mastered. Rogar, Radiant, and
2.
Umbral, each specializing in a different area of the arcane, and
Look at
requiring
this guy.
a different catalyst to cast.
He's got like a
Our
pyramid
current
head.
build is adept in Rogar, characterized by devastating pyromantic attacks.
That is cool. That's one of the other classes, I guess. Right? What did he say? What's the name of the class? Yeah, this looks so good. Yeah, I know, like, that's exactly how I'm feeling. Like, I just need something, you know? That like, is like an in-between one, you know, that I can go back to. Cause like, I like Cyberpunk, I like Phantom Liberty, and I like Starfield, but I want something else that I can just mindlessly sit and hack and slash, but isn't too mindless, you know, is actually
age-old borough
fun.
built into the very cliff face. Pilgrim's
This
Perch
looks good.
typifies the verticality of Moonstead. There are myriad pathways stretching both above and below, with hidden areas, treasures, and NPCs all awaiting discovery.
Oh wow, look at this. The rain looks really good. Wow. So is it the white flowers? You want to do that? That's cool. It's making me want to play Elden Ring. Elden Ring's really good. Nah, never. I love Melee. I really do. I liked Skyrim. I played it a lot, so like going back to stream it for
all
me.
players are equipped with a devastating ability, the Soul Flay. By using one of a limited number of soul charges, we are able to extract the very soul of an enemy, ready to inflict significant damage.
Honestly, I feel like this game's gonna be one of those games where I'd be hard pressed to find anything wrong with it. Like you have to understand, like I can usually like deduce, even from these trailers, especially gameplay, what I have to be concerned about with the game. I haven't found a single thing I'm concerned about yet. Not even a single thing. I just realized my mouse was right in the middle of the screen. That's so cool. Let's see. What's that one game? I forget. There's 3 like.
The Soul Flay ability can also be used to manipulate the very environment.
You don't love
when
Cyberpunk
on
either. Yeah, The Witcher 4 I'm looking forward to. Have you played 3 though? That's a hard game. Now you're talking about one of the hardest games right there. The Witcher 3. That shit's hard. Yeah, I have the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on Steam. Definitely really fun, but really hard. Until you get used to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like the hardest part about playing the Witcher games is learning that you can't move on too quick, and you have to learn how to use your potions and your abilities properly. Like, if you don't use that stuff right, like if you just try to hack, just try to hack with your sword or whatever, you're not playing the game right.
In Lower Calrath, an ever-burning district, renowned for its displays of barbarity.
Like, I love going back to WoW and everything, but I try to stay away from subscription-based things as much as I can. Man, this looks so good. I can't wait for this.
We're now going to invite a second player to join us on our journey.
What?
This is easily achieved at any of the vestiges.
What?
You can choose to fight alongside a friend or a randomly selected player.
It has co-op?
Either way, your co-op companion will remain at your side for as long as you or they choose.
Dude, it has
As a radiant
co-op.
sorcerer, our ally is able to buff either character with various enhancements.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah. This is really cool that there's co-op like this. This just makes it like that much better. I wonder if we'll be able to do it with people online, or if you'll have to like have a friend. Probably friends. Probably friends only, like private server. This is cool though. Damn, is this like a rogue? I kind of want to do the rogue build. That's cool. I like those blades. Yeah, that's really cool. Thanks, man. I'm excited to actually play it. Hopefully I don't suck. It looks like one of those games I'm just gonna have so much fun with.
It appears our way is blocked by an umbral entity. We will need to track its tendrils in order to locate and expel the source of its power.
Oh, here we go.
Finally, it's time to face off against the colossal
There we
Spurred
go.
progeny, Scourge of Calrath.
What the fuck? What the Oh my god, this is so fucking cool. That's honestly one of the coolest bosses I've ever seen. That's like so badass. He has this gigantic freaking hand and then he spits lava. Just comes out of his mouth. Oh my god.
The lands of Mornstead await you. Pre-order Lords of the Fallen now and
Yep.
prepare to unleash the darkness on Friday, the 13th of October.
That Well, I guess I know what we're doing on Friday the 13th. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's gonna be really fun.
Welcome.
Damn humanity.
Yeah, that was the trailer. That was the trailer I've seen before, the one that used the Danzig song. Mother. Do 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 do. Yeah. Good stuff. Why does that look like that? What the fuck? Alright, so we have to talk. Something, a certain something came out. Now this is apparently available to play now. Yeah, apparently this is a thing now, guys. So I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, apparently it's available now. Counter-Strike 2. Now this is just literally global offensive. That's all this is. It's literally just Counter-Strike Go. It's just CSGO. That's all it is. See how it says it's already in my library? Free to play. That's why. Because it's just CSGO. So apparently this is out now. And like it was like this huge upgrade that everybody's waiting for.
In a Counter-Strike match, information can mean the difference between success or failure. As a result, smoke grenades have become a cornerstone of team tactics.
Yeah. Oh, Counter-Strike 2. There we go.
With over 20 years of history, maps are a fundamental pillar of Counter-Strike.
Absolutely.
And in Counter-Strike 2, maps are getting a new look. But
Okay.
don't worry. You can still bring along your countless hours honing strategies and exploiting every corner and crevice. We took 3 approaches to improving maps while retaining their rich legacy. First, there are touchstone maps. Classic maps with solid foundations that players can use to evaluate gameplay changes from CSGO to Counter-Strike 2. These have improvements to lighting and character read, but otherwise haven't been changed. Next, we have upgrades. These are maps that use new Source 2 lighting, including a physically based rendering system that produces realistic materials, lighting, and reflections.
Wow. It does look good.
And finally, overhauls. The oldest maps have been fully rebuilt from the ground up,
That's
leveraging
Italy?
all of the Source 2 tools and rendering features.
Guys, I don't know. We might want to try
These
this
tools
out.
will be available for community map makers to make it easier to build, experiment, and iterate. With upgrades to lighting, player read, and materials in Counter-Strike 2, even the familiar will feel brand new.
I don't know, guys. Should we should we have a little fun today with shooters? Is it a shooter day? I know some people have been waiting for me to play some shooters again. I played Fortnite.
With
Nobody gave a
Counter-Strike 2's
shit.
new game engine, we've evolved smokes and made them dynamic. Smoke grenades now create volumetric 3D objects that live in the world. Now, not only do all players see the same smoke regardless of position, but the smoke can interact with the environment in interesting ways. It reacts to lighting, grows to
that's
fill
cool.
spaces naturally. The shape of the smoke cloud can be pushed and carved by bullets and grenades. In Counter-Strike 2, smoke grenades provide even more tactical opportunities. They're just going to look and play better.
Okay. So maybe we'll play it? I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I haven't played a competitive shooter for a bit, except like I said when I played Fortnite the other night. Again. So, as far as the updates are concerned, Lords of the Fallen is definitely something on the list that's coming. We're gonna finish Phantom Liberty. We're gonna grind away, of course, as normal about, you know, Hitman 3. Absolutely. Still gonna work on the freelancer mastery. That needs to happen. It's pretty boring, I feel like, sometimes with the mastery stuff. With Hitman, because there's a lot of times on freelancer it's just the same maps, so you guys don't get to see like some of the other cooler maps too. So I don't know, that's why I like to do the challenge completion streams. But then like I've completed so many at this point. The ones that are left are the really tough ones, and doing those on stream is just, it's pretty nerve-wracking. I would much rather do them, you know, like in a controlled environment, practiced, you know. Like the Silent Assassin suit only stuff. Like that's just insane sometimes. Sniper Assassin's easier than it seems. But Silent Assassin suit only can be tough. Now if you have to do, the problem is I have a lot of these redacted challenges that aren't explained, and then I look them up, and then like something about the way my game is slightly different, so I can't complete it that way. So I have to figure out my own unique way, and I don't know, just some of these just seem like they're not working, I don't know. But anyway, as far as shooters, I definitely want to play some Counter-Strike 2. I want to. It's even called that. They changed the title of it. They call it Counter-Strike 2 now. See what people are saying. CSGO is dead. Long live Counter-Strike 2. Was truly outdone themselves. I don't know, like it's hard to tell. Some of these comments seem positive and some don't. Wait, we don't have Kabul? We still don't have Kabul? Are you kidding me? Vertigo is horrible. Well, that's disappointing. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to decide for ourselves. This will be a good one to try. I don't know. I haven't played this shit in forever. I have one of these old Serious Sam games on Steam. And it's literally so old I haven't played it. I literally haven't played it since 2016. I wonder if it'll even work. Let's see if it has a listing on the store page still. It does still, and it's still very positive. I don't know, like maybe a nice throwback will be fun. I'll bet it doesn't have 1440 support though. Serious Sam games are actually pretty solid run and gun shooters, for sure. There was a new one added to Xbox. I can take a look at that, but this would be a cool throwback. So this is the one I have. This is the one right here. The funny thing is it still sells for 15 bucks. I don't know, I feel like people really like this one. I pick a good one? And I've only played it not even that long. It said it was a bunch of achievements too. Yeah, 35. Huh. Yeah, fun little throwback. Serious Sam is really fun. It really is. It's a really fun run and gun shooter. Yeah, so as far as channel updates, guys, Lords of the Fallen, appreciate you stopping in, Cookie. Lords of the Fallen, definitely. Now, The Witcher 4, that's going to be a while, I think. Now, as far as The Witcher 3 is concerned...
All I want for Christmas is Sam in my...
So, we have... Hold on. Ah! I just cleared everything out. I just like accidentally closed shit. All right. Shooters. As far as what I know, what I want to play, definitely. What's that one? There's that one fucking. Hold on. There's this one shooter that's come. Hold on. Trying to think of what it's called. Damn it. I had it, and then I don't know. I'm trying to look for this one game that I saw was coming out that I'm actually looking forward to. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, it's on Steam. Okay, well that helps. No. Oh, there it is, finally. Alright, so let's take a look at this. This is something I've been looking forward to, but hardly anybody knows about it yet, I think. So, I think once people find out about it, it's gonna be like, oh shit, you know? So let's talk about this quick. Abyssus, I guess is how you'd say that. Abyssus, discover the secrets of an ancient underwater civilization as you blast your way through Abyssus, a fast-paced roguelike FPS, first-person shooter, and atmospheric brine punk adventures. So yeah, this is definitely like brine punk is like Fallout. So yeah, a Fallout, BioShock, that sort of thing. Looks pretty good. Let's watch the trailer. Oh, you know, this kind of reminds me of what's that one game that we played? Except it was like cartoony graphics. So this is more of an arena shooter with like, yeah, it's like a dungeon crawler, I think. I want the fish. Yeah, it looks cool. Definitely not something that like Gunfire Reborn. That's the one I was thinking of actually, right there. That's what I thought it looked like. Except, you know, not cartoony. Looks cool. Yeah, looks cool. do 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 do. All right, guys. Well, as far as the channel updates are concerned, oh man, I will be finishing Phantom Liberty soon. I want to do some actual uploading for that. Let's see. We have to do a couple of, there's a couple of shorts I want to do. There's a couple, so don't worry. We are going to start doing those things. Those are coming. I have a couple ideas. Still lots of uploads coming. I want to have, like, you know, 2 or 3 things that we sort of focus on at any given time, you know, where it's like we're playing this, this, and this. And that's what I try to do. I try to do, like, my favorite things and then, like, a little bit of what's trending, if that makes sense. So, like, we were playing Phantom Liberty because that's trending. But, like, I actually do like Cyberpunk. As far as, like, what I want to be playing right now, like I said, I was thinking more shooters. Yeah, it just depends on my mood, what I feel like playing that day. And so, like, I like to, you know, have a nice list of things that I can go back to and work on. But I also like to work Steam achievements. So that's something that I like to do too. I'll show up sometimes and just do a stream and unlock some Steam achievements. And then usually if I do, I'll try to put it on the thumbnail. I don't always do that. But I try to put it on there so that way, you know, if folks have the same game, you guys can get those achievements done yourselves. You can see it right there, and it's just easy. You can do it yourself. I try to do that stuff. Yeah, maybe shooters. We'll see. Lately, like I said, I was feeling the Souls-like games. Because Liza P did come out, and I thought it was a really, really well done game, aside from all those things that we said with Asmon. So, exactly what Asmon was saying. So, yes, I want to play it. I thought it was good. And if they actually did those things, I might try it again. But, I don't know. I don't know, I don't feel like playing it, you know? I will often just want a game to work the first time I play it, and then I won't feel like wanting to play it after that if it feels a certain way. You know, like, why wouldn't I just look forward to Lords of the Fallen in 2 weeks? Does that make sense? Now, I would like to get back into some games that I was playing a while back that we haven't gone back to yet, and I would like to go back to them. Like Horizon 5 is something that I keep going back to because I do like the game. Hot Wheels Unleashed was something that I played the crap out of, got a lot of the achievements unlocked, learned how to use the track builder, made a whole bunch of cool tracks, was getting ready to make content for you guys based on that, specifically for that. And then they just sort of act like they're going to abandon the game and start, you know, working on the next thing. And basically just as I go back to the game, like, so for the one time I went back to do a stream, basically 2 or 3 main features of the game didn't work. And I'm just like, I don't want to do a stream where I'm showing you guys these things about the game where these basic big features don't work. I couldn't even use the car skins in the game that I had made. My own skin that I made wasn't available. I couldn't use it. This thing was just always on my car. It just wasn't there. There was just a different skin. Just for no reason. They were just down. Things like that. I remember there was this one time I went into the game and I literally flat out could just not use the track builder. Just couldn't do it. Just couldn't enter the track builder. Just flat out couldn't use it. So I'm like, okay. So basically, if I want to do content on this game, I have to sort of pick and choose the day that the game actually works. Why would I want to do that? And then why would I want to then do content on a game where, like, the game is flaws? Where they basically just abandoned this, didn't fix those flaws, to move on to the sequel. Now, let me talk about the sequel. The sequel does look like it's going to be decent. And it looks like the track builder was improved on. But did you just sell us a whole bowl of crap full of microtransactions just to move on to the next one? Yes, pretty much. So that's how I feel about Hot Wheels Unleashed. I just feel like this was developed with very little care to, you know, the community, where we want this to be, you know, a game that we play forever and just keep coming back to. It feels like the moment Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 comes out, this is going to be gone. You won't be able to play it anymore. None of it will matter. And Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 will be the new thing. And that could be okay, but I've never been somebody that's been like that with games. I don't agree with, you know, just abandoning something, moving on to the next thing. I don't like that. And not only that, but like, if you're going to do a Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, don't just abandon the first game, improve it. And then at the same time, if you abandon your first game, you clearly feel like your first game wasn't strong enough to hold its own. You clearly moved on from it yourself, feeling that there was things that you should have added to it, so it wasn't done. It wasn't done right. Yeah. And that's just how I feel about Hot Wheels Unleashed, so that's why I like just having gone back to that and to do the content on that and stuff. I do think it's a really fun game when it works. There were quite a bit of people that were playing that game that were obviously hacking, running hacks for the game in the servers. I remember there was times where like I would play online, and the moment that I start the match, this dude is just like instantly halfway around the track in front of everyone. Just like, yeah, okay. That's not how the game works. That's not how the game works. So, Hot Wheels Unleashed also had its fair share of people trolling the heck out of the servers and stuff too. So, anyway, I would like to go back to a lot of these things, and I will. But as far as Hot Wheels Unleashed, I just don't know, because I'd like it, but then it's that thing where I don't want things to break about the game while I'm trying to make content about this game. Why would I want to do that? Yeah, it's like a broken game. Here I am making content on how to... no. No. I'm going to make content for games that work properly. So... Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, yes, I will probably play it. It's very far-fetched to believe that I won't. But whether I'll stream it or not, we'll see. I think we need... Here's what I'd love to see. I would love to see a Twisted Metal Black remake. A remake. Not a remaster. A Twisted Metal Black remake. Remake that game. Like, all these games that we keep remaking and pumping out. And there's this one game that was so good it was like hardcore driving PS2 sales when the PlayStation 2 came out. Hardcore. You can't tell me it wasn't, because it was. And no, it wasn't just because they had the doors and the it wasn't just because they had the doors playing it, on the title screen. It wasn't just because of that. It was literally because that game was fucking amazing. We all had fun playing it. We all could not wait to sit there and grind that shit out and try to do everything to get Minion. Yeah, to unlock Minion. It was all about unlocking Minion. Like, flat out, that game was so much fun. And the fact that I even remember that. It's been since, like, PlayStation 2 that I played it. And then, people think... This is what people think. They think there haven't been other there haven't been other Twisted Metal games. A lot of people think that. A GameStop employee actually thought that. Yeah, I was talking to a GameStop employee. He was like, there was another one after... Like, are you kidding me? That was what killed the franchise. Yeah, they basically they came out with like a new Twisted Metal, and it was like just called Twisted Metal, and it was on PlayStation 3, and it was terrible. That's it, and it killed it. So that's what did it. And a lot of that was just the coding and stuff for PlayStation 3 and how difficult it was to make games for that console. As much as I loved it, it was a nightmare for the devs. So, hence them wanting to not offer support for the, PlayStation Network store and stuff like that. That's why they abandoned that stuff. But they shouldn't have done it that way in the first place, with it being crap. Source code and stuff like that was a nightmare with PlayStation 3. Anyway, I need to get off here and get onto something, onto some content. So let's get off. I'll probably jump on. I don't know what we'll jump on. What do you guys want to do? Like I said, we'll probably do some shooter stuff today. I just feel like with Phantom Liberty and shit, a lot of that's really cool, but I want to do some uploads and stuff, I think, for that content. Not necessarily do it live. So yeah, maybe we'll shoot some stuff today. We'll have some fun. We'll chill out. We'll switch around. But yeah, I'll probably get off and install a couple things, and then we'll jump on. Thanks, Cookie, for being my only person in chat today. I'm not really sure why. I just feel like there's a lot of trolls out there. Anyway, thank you guys for those who stopped in. And for those who stop in and are mainly silent, that's okay. I just would appreciate if at least you hit the like button when you're stopping in, guys, please. At least do that if you're gonna be silent and not use chat and all that, because that stuff helps. Consistent chat helps, guys. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna jump off here. But yeah, Lords of the Fallen was the big thing that was coming, and obviously, just where I was at with Liza P and everything. So thank you, Asmon, for that amazing video. That was awesome. And thanks, Cookie, again, for stopping by. See you guys soon. Yeah, we'll be back soon.